Hello everyone, it's Arcadenaut here, and today I'll be talking about Cult of the Lamb, the most innocent looking game with sadistic and evil elements, a mix of Animal Crossing with roguelike combat and cultist simulator gameplay. If you like to form your own cult, feed them their own friend or their own poo, make them pray for you 24/7, well, this is your game. I've been playing Cult of the Lamb since its release on 11th of August and beats its main story around 13 hours, unlocking every talent that is needed for dungeons and around 80% of buildings for my own cult. Right from the start, Cult of the Lamb starts with the main character, the Lamb, who's been taken for a sacrifice to please 4 different gods. These gods represent the very 4 horsemen of apocalypse, feeding from the sacrifice of the lamb, well, can be also symbolized as we, the lamb of the god. As we die, we are greeted by another deity named as the one who awaits. This deity is chained, wants to be free and needs our help as much as we need his help. The one who awaits grants us the red crown, gives us a mission to form our own satanic cult to get stronger, fight against these 4 deities, and finally to have our revenge. Our lamb and also our red crown will get stronger with each follower and through their praise, so we need to prepare them a nice cozy environment to live in, right? Make them food, grant them shelter, work them 24/7 and educate them when they rebel, yeah. Cult of the Lamb basically turns you either into the most innocent cultist leader or the tyranny, depending on your playstyle, while unlocking new buildings or traits to develop your very own cultist land and also your satanic lamb. Combat mechanics and also the progress of the game is quite similar to Moonlighter, which I also really enjoyed. There are 4 main dungeons that you need to clear totally, and each dungeon having 3 mini bosses first and then 1 main boss that you need to beat. Each time you enter a dungeon, depending on your very luck, you receive 1 weapon and a curse that you can use as range attacks, enter a room, beat all the enemies, and then choose the route that you want to continue. In terms of dungeon and roguelike elements, it is really similar to the Binding of Isaac and Moonlighter, as you lose around 25% of gathered resources when you die and some fate of your followers. The main gameplay aspect of Cult of the Lamb is this cultist management aspect, which soon I will be talking about. These dungeon gameplay aspects are mostly depending on the talent that you unlock by doing sermons that lets you access to even stronger weapons and curses, and the rest is up to your skills. You can melee attack, use fervor, which is like mana points to cast curses from afar, dodge with rolling to avoid any attacks. When you complete an area, you decide which route you want to take that leads you either one of the side bosses or the very main boss of that dungeon. As I mentioned before, each dungeon has 3 mini bosses that you need to defeat until you unlock the sealed door to one of the deities that sacrificed you. By defeating a mini boss, that dungeon is considered to be completed, then you will find yourself in your cozy yet sadistic cultist camp that needs your attention. Let's talk about the cutest yet the most sadistic Animal Crossing elements ever, shall we? So, one day, during I was cleaning the puke or poos around my camp, one of my followers came up to me and said, "There is this one thing, oh mighty lamb, that I never did before. Please grant me the luxury of doing it." I was like, okay, what's your request? This misguided and lost follower wanted to eat a bowl of poo. Right, as I'm a righteous and a forgiving lamb, I made what this follower requested. I cooked a nasty looking bowl of poo. Follower ate it, was happy but also turned sick ASAP. I completed the quest, received an item that is needed to perform doctrines, sent that guy to infirmary to rest, and that's it. This is just one of the crazy moments that you will experience by Cult of the Lamb. These followers are mostly dumb, I mean dumb in a fun and entertaining way, and requires your guidance and attention in most of times. You need their praise, you need their devotion to get strong, so it's mostly like a symbiotic relationship. You can find these lost followers mostly within dungeons, fight against enemies to free them, and then recruit them to your cult. But this is not all. When they are being sent to the camp, you can name them, decide on their appearance, and look for their traits to decide the best job for them. A follower's job can be to gather lumber or mine for stones, pray for the devotion that you can unlock new facilities with, refine for better resources, tending the farms, or cleaning up the whole mess. You as the follow cult leader lamb can do everything, and until you need the facilities so that your followers tend to daily chores, you need to do everything and babysit them, clean up their poo, cook for them, go for the dungeons to collect new materials, save some followers, and then keep up the faith as much as possible, because when the faith meter is low, they begin to rebel, spread false rumors about you, and cause problems. Another important aspect of Cult of the Lamb is devotion, and the whole sermon and ritual mechanics. Faith is another meter that you need to be cautious of and need to keep it at least by 50% at all times. Faith can diminish also when you fail to complete a follower request, so if you feel like you don't have time or be bothered by their request, just either decline them or just sacrifice them. By defeating enemies within the dungeons and crushing their skeletons, you can gather bones, which are the main resources to do rituals. Rituals can be unlocked by declaring doctrines, the stone tablets that you can find either within dungeons or when a follower levels up. When you gather 3 pieces of these stone tablets, you can declare a doctrine about food, faith, death, and their belongings. Each doctrine has 2 different choices that you can shape your gameplay with. If I were to explain with the food doctrine, you can either declare cannibalism trait that you can increase their faith when they eat a minced meat of a dead follower, or just keep them more vegan by unlocking eating grass to save some time to gather ingredients. These doctrines keep the gameplay fresh and more interesting, as they also relieve you by some of the struggles and help you to regain faith easily. If someone is causing you trouble, just sacrifice them in the name of you and the Red Crown, and everyone will be pleased. Then let's talk about the flaws of the Cult of the Lamp. After 6 to 7 hours, you nearly see all of the gameplay or the depth Cult of the Lamp offers basically, both in aspects of combat mechanics, bosses or areas, but also in aspects of cult management. I would be more pleased if there were more facilities or jobs that the followers can do, rather than some decorations to fill my camp with. I don't say that Cult of the Lamb gets boring quickly, but you mostly discover what the game has in its own arsenal and loses its wow effect. I believe the developers will update and add new features to Cult of the Lamp in the future, but I don't know if they will give me an excuse to come back after finishing the game. The experience was fun and unique, but I wouldn't say no to more depth. Another and the biggest flaw is the bugs. If you have no tolerance for game bugs, then just wait for some time. There are lots of bugs that will disrupt your progress, bugs that can soft lock you when doing a main quest, bugs that will prevent you to read the lines of characters and even their quests. One point that I need to warn you of is to not place any decorations until you complete the main quest of performing rituals. This bug can literally softlock you to continue your progress to gather for more materials, leaving you with the insufficient amount of bones for rituals. Whole cult management is the main charm point of Cult of the Lamp. Each follower has a lifespan. They die, you dug up a grave and bury them, or even turn them into a nice meal for others. If a respected member of the society dies, you can just resurrect them as younger, make them your enforcer, and even marry them. All of these aspects are charming and addicting that you literally cannot quit Cult of the Lamp until all of the meters are full and your followers are happy. But right at that point, you will find yourself entering dungeons, fighting against these 4 deities to please the one who awaits. Cult of the Lamp is quite fun, can be played on Steam and on every modern console with a price tag of $25 US. If you like roguelikes like Binding of Isaac and Moonlighter, you should definitely give it a try.